Well, very good morning, everybody, for Sunday, the 24th of April. Well, we're continuing to see an easterly flow across us, and it looks like it's going to be that way for the foreseeable future. Though that bringing with it not particularly that bad soaring conditions, and certainly as we go into next week, finally the midweekers are going to have a chance as this high pressure, just the small ridge builds enough and the direction of the air mass being just good enough that we should get a really big day, hopefully Tuesday and Wednesday. But for today, sort of mixed conditions. Won't be absolutely superb, but we do have some bright skies with an increasing amount of cloud during the day. The winds are going to be a noticeable factor today, looking across our region. Northeasterly, coming east northeasterly around 20 to 25 knots at flying heights. On the ground probably at the moment is northeast, but it should swing around and hopefully keep us off of the nasty runways. Currently looking at the picture over England, there's a fair amount of cloud up sort of along the M4 corridor, and you can sort of see that if you're driving in this morning from the north or east. As you look further down where we are, it's slightly brighter, but there is already some cumulus bubbling up already. Public forecast today shows that northeasterly wind and a bright start, probably a little bit too much cloud by this afternoon. Reasonable-ish visibility, but bear in mind that there have been a number of heath fires locally to Lasham, which may mean there's a lot of dust and smoke still hanging about in the air. I don't think those heath fires are even out in some areas. Top temperature today around 16 degrees and no real significant weather other than that. That's broadly in line with what we can see on GFS, 16 degrees, and dew points today sitting around sort of 8 degrees or so. As we look at Farnborough Taff, fairly short really, 030 at 9 knots and Cav OK. Similar on the METAR currently, Cav OK, and a temperature of 11 degrees currently. Let's just look around Heathrow, talking, oh, look at that, a chance of some showers. I'm not convinced of that. Gatwick, sort of same, very similar, a few clouds, 4,500 feet. Again, oh, that's showers for tomorrow, sorry, not for today. That does make sense now. But yeah, generally across the board, very similar. David published a forecast last night, around 14 hours ago, saying it should be a fairly early start and good conditions for a couple of hours. Bases rising to 4,500 feet, top to 7,000. But yeah, that risk of spread out. There is that trough out sort of further away from us, but there might be a weaker one slightly closer to us, it looks like. But yeah, so not a write-off at all. Should be soarable and cross-countryable. But if you're looking for a big day, then wait a couple of days. It's coming. Okay, looking at PFD. So in our area, we're looking like that. So yeah, sort of mixed conditions across the task area. We start at, let's go for 11 o'clock. It's blue to shallow Q here up to around 2,500 to 3,000 feet. By midday, getting Q to 3,500 feet, and by lunchtime, probably seeing 4,000 to 4,500 feet. Looking okay down towards Yeovil and down just towards sort of Chichester, maybe even Parham, but that's about as far as you'll want to go, as sea air will come across Kent and other parts of that have coasts on the east, not too far away. By sort of 4 o'clock, it starts to sort of peter out a bit. Very good over the mountains in Wales and into the M40 corridor. But yeah, Lasham will probably start seeing a deterioration by around 5 o'clock or so. But in the middle part of the day, it should be fairly reasonable around here. So yeah, either along out to the west or maybe up into the mountains or quickly down to Goodwood. Let's look at site forecast for today. As a reasonable start, 3 knot thermals, and those cloud tops getting up to even saying here 9,000 feet. So risk of some fairly severe spread out if that were to happen. but yeah, by the middle of the afternoon, you want to be away from here as it looks like it'd be a bit more cloudy. Okay, NOTAM wise, looking around us, 14 and 16. Is that a typo or what? Danger areas reduced to 25,000 feet. Well, that's as useful as the chocolate teapot to us, isn't it? In fact, that's within Class C airspace, the top bit of that, above flight level 195. Yeah, Salisbury ops are closed. London information talking about that. I almost wonder if that's a typo, but it's whatever the NOTAM says. Winching activity at Middle Wallop. 19 will be paragliding, just south of Didcot, south west of Didcot. And that is about it. 8 equestrian events, which shouldn't be in this NOTAM brief. Yeah, and number 3 equestrian events, no real issue. So on the whole, fairly quiet, other than some weird NOTAMs around the Salisbury Plain training area. Okay, operationally, it'll be 09 today. I've not had any notification of any movements. We'll have a look at whether we grid or not. I'll come out very shortly and see how many there are. But excellent. I'll see you on the effort shortly. Bye for now.